Have you ever seen those movies about the end of the world where floods crush skyscrapers, bridges fall in seconds, people scream in fear, and Earth turns into Miller's planet? Are you still not shocked? Imagine getting teleported to the water planet shown in the Interstellar movie. However, unlike them, we'll die slowly rather than get wiped out in seconds. Growing pollution causes temperatures to rise, which causes ice glaciers to melt. This brings an annual increase in water levels by 0.13 inches. In fact, the sea level may be 12 inches higher by 2050 than it is currently. Do you know that the Maldives, the world's flattest nation with only 1 meter of average elevation, will lose 77% of its land as a result of this dilemma? Billions of people will lose their homes and experience a food emergency due to destroyed agricultural produce. Consider incurable waterborne diseases. If it sounds like a problem that can be fixed, there's even more to this story. Keep watching until the end because we're going to bring you the unfiltered reality of the cities that are most likely to sink by 2030. Number 1, Amsterdam. If you're an artist, take this as a wake-up call and visit the Van Gogh Museum as soon as possible. You may never get another chance. The city of Amsterdam, one of the 17th century's crown jewels, is famous for having the largest number of bridges. This place is known as the Venice of the North, since it contains over 400 river crossings. Even the movie Diamonds Are Forever was filmed here. From the distinctive delicacies such as bitterballen to the mind-blowing nightlife, this destination is simply an escape from reality for over 1,174,000 people. But as lovely as this city appears to be in the midst of the world's chaos, the place is sinking 8 millimeters per year. As one of the low country regions, its beaches have caused floods and killed thousands of people in years like 1836 and 1717. Not only did the houses slip beneath the sea, but the loss of animal life was also irreversible. Even though the country is recognized for its dikes, dams, and floodgates, it may not be enough to keep the country afloat until 2030. According to Reuters.com, the Netherlands has chosen to invest $31 billion to combat the 2030 climate battle. According to the plan, the government will enhance subsidies for house insulation, used electric cars, and solar panels, resulting in a 60% reduction in CO2 emissions. Perhaps power plants will be modified to run on hydrogen. Finally, by 2040, the whole energy-intensive industry will be carbon neutral. Likewise, plastic production will shift towards recyclable materials. Number 2, Venice. Remember how in 2018 the entire lagoon experienced strong storms, resulting in the biggest flood of the decade? Not only did it directly affect almost 53,000 people, but one person who attempted to restart a water pump died from electrocution. Or even the dark, gloomy night of November 12, 2019, when about 80% of Venice's land was underwater. According to Mayor Brugnario, the catastrophe resulted in a loss of more than 1 billion euros. Even those historic buildings were submerged in flood. Many ground-floor apartments have become inhabitable as a result of the regular increase in such natural calamities. The floating city, noted for its stunning architecture, flowing canals, St. Mark's Square, and historic fortresses, may not exist for future generations. Every year, about 2 millimeters of water rise on this ground. Even the Mose project, which began in 1987, has not been technically completed yet. In fact, it's been operating in an experimental mode for the past 2 years. According to the engineers, they still need to finish work on the last backup systems. The project is expected to be completely operational in the next year, and it may be able to protect 80% of the city from floods, 110 centimeters over the ordinary level. Not only that, but during the Aquata Alta, there will be 73 hollow steel gates rising in front of the lagoon's 3 entrances. On August 1st, UNESCO proposed adding the property to the list of World Heritage Sites in danger. Number 3, Kolkata. It is impossible to discuss Kolkata without bringing up Durga Puja, Rasgulla, and trams. Here's a fun fact. If you want to impress a Bengali, study a few deep facts about Ravindranath Tagore and his masterpieces. Kolkata, or the City of Joy, is best known for promoting its cultural legacy through cinema, songs, and dance forms. Their style is clearly unique from that of any other Indian. But that isn't the only difference. However, the fact that people are still making goods out of jute and terracotta by hands demonstrates how much they value their ancestral roots. But not every great story has 2 sides. Not only is this area prone to the heat waves that killed 2,500 people in Kolkata in 2015, but the frequent floods have given everyone shivers. In August 2017, the flood killed 50 people and caused extensive infrastructure damage. In fact, when Cyclone Amphan reached the shore in 2020, the city lost a large amount of its green cover, resulting in $13.5 billion in damage. When the AR6 report was released in 2023, it was clear that the speed of global action to save regions from sinking by 2030 was insufficient. Not only did the loss of horticulture crop bring tears to the people's eyes, but their floating away homes added to the pain. 1/3 of the population is living in extremely congested locations with inadequate sanitation and wastewater infrastructure merely to avoid flooding. But global warming is making it much more difficult. To help people who are still living as refugees, the government has agreed to offer them each 10,000 rupees, as well as food rations, medical support, and sanitary facilities. Not only that, but those who have lost a family member will receive 50,000 rupees from this scheme. According to the High Country's decision, the action report will be submitted on September 13th this year. Aside from that, the Bengal administration has used a satellite image-based map to design an action plan with the assistance of Dutch experts to combat the flood of Sundarbans. Do not be shocked, we are aware that Sundarbans and Kolkata are 130 kilometers apart, but as 500 million people who live in the Ganges Basin are affected by the Sundarbans flood, this project will help protect the Kolkata and its residents as well. The Hooghly River system has been connected to the water channels, which will be activated just before the tectonic shift as well. To store the fresh water, 500 kilometers of the upper Delta South Bengal area have been evacuated. In just 5 years, this land will extend up to 700 kilometers, so there won't be a drinking water shortage in the event of a flood. Number 4, Nagoya. Nagoya is well known for its strong economic ties and for being the birthplace of companies like Toyota. But it's not the only thing that takes people by surprise when they get lost in the beauty of this region. You will experience an outwardly feeling at the Ajutsa Jinga, which has a sacred sword and ancient relics. Nagoya has become well known for its Ghibli Park, which is currently its most well-known attraction. However, as soon as the flood season, which lasts from May to October, starts, this area is inundated by powerful floods, typhoons, and other natural calamities. In fact, the Iswanan typhoon in 1976 damaged 2,884 homes with inundation above the floor and 40,463 houses with inundation below the floor level. Every year, as the season approaches, it becomes extremely frightening for those who live along the coast. Currently, Kansai Airport, which costs $20 billion, is sinking together with this land. With global warming, the sea level in Nagoya has increased from 0.15 to 0.95 meters, endangering a population of almost 2 million people. The government has implemented preventative measures such as the Nagoya Protocol. This project is based on access to genetic resources and the fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from their utilization to the Convention on Biological Diversity. This project, which was adopted on October 29, 2010, was signed with the support of the CBD, Convention on Biological Diversity, with more than 65 countries collaborating with Nagoya. Now that we've revealed the truth about the world's sinking cities, what steps do you believe the government should take more seriously? Feel free to drop your comments about the next topic you want us to cover. If you enjoy our content, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned.